In the 19th century, a drunken Applejack salesman must go from zero to hero and become North America's greatest fur trapper by defeating hundreds of beavers.
Possibly thousands.
Possibly thousands.
Comes in at a runtime of 108 minutes, but I gotta say it's one of the quickest 108 minutes I've watched in a while. It's been received incredibly well over on Letterboxd. It's currently sitting at a 4.2, and I think it has like upwards to the 70,000 people who've almost 70,000 people who've locked it, and 7.7 over on IMDb. I couldn't find a reported budget for it, but you just feel like even if there's a dollar amount there, it couldn't account for it couldn't account for the amount of like passion, blood, and sweat that was put into this, because it feels like it's all out there. It's got a really unique vision. We got a behind the scenes video that we can link to you that gives you a quick glimpse into like how they storyboarded and put all of this together. Lachlan, I think it's fair to say that like this is obviously, it has found its audience, especially on a place like Letterboxd. But to me, this is one of the best films of the year that isn't talked about as much. I think it's the funniest film of the year. It is in the running for one of the most entertaining ones. And still, I feel like it could be very much not your thing at all. Kevin told me that I should tell this on the podcast, that like he showed it to a group of friends of his, like 5 or 6 friends. They sat down and watched this, and he was the only one laughing. No one laughed. And then at some point, it just kind of stopped, and he went to continue watching it by himself while they played Mario Kart. And then by the end, they came back and was like, oh, that's actually really funny. And I told them, they haven't earned it. They haven't earned it. Because like the whole progression of this movie is like, basically you get all of the setup in place, and then it has this video game aesthetic of like leveling up, and all of the sound effects come together, and the repetition and the beats.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing gone dark, where you actually just like after Tim Nook and trying to like kill him. No, I got to hear from you. What do you think? Because we unanimously, all of us in Quiet on Set, really like this one.
I remember hearing about this ages ago. You telling me that I would fucking love this movie, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know, like maybe the hype has built it up too much that I'm not going to enjoy it, which definitely has been the case sometimes, where you've told me about a movie so far in advance and you're like, yeah, you're really positive about it. I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not a fan. But this one, I think this takes the cake for probably the funniest movie of the year for me. It is hilarious. It is just so funny. And for a movie with no dialogue, you can follow it so easily. And I think that's a testament to good filmmaking and good storytelling. And I know that it's going to be a bit film bro of us to pick apart a movie like this about how it's so, like Orion in the Dark, so thematically intense.
Charlie Kaufman-esque.
It's so much fun. It's stupid. It's enjoyable. It's classic, just I want to make you laugh comedy. And I feel like movies like this don't exist anymore, where the entire purpose of it is to entertain and make you laugh, and that is why I love it. The crazy, because I agree, if you watch the start of this, it's a lot slower than what the last 30 minutes is. And that last 30 minutes, I was just like crying, dude. I was just literally in pain from laughing from how ridiculous everything gets. And I loved almost every moment of it. I love the style of it, the look of it as well. I think that just adds so much to the film, that it's not clean. Like, it's literally dirty. It's grainy. It's black and white. The audio is at least the way it's designed. The sound design is fairly simple sound design with it all, over the top sound effects. It takes so much inspiration from classic slapstick comedy, Chaplin style comedy, Looney Tunes style comedy, and kind of brings it all together in this really cool fucking package that just absolutely lands for me. And I feel like would land for most people if they're open to accepting it and just letting it do its thing, because I do agree it can take a little hot second to get into, but after 40 minutes in, like to be honest, I was in straight away. That whole intro sequence, I'm sorry,
There's
I
just
just
all
watched
burning.
Wicked, but that intro sequence was like the best like musical number of any music like movie ever. Of like the Applejack like orchard farm, and I loved it. Like I really
Yeah.
did. And here we are, and I still am recommending it to so many people. I recommended it to a mate at work, and he watched it, and he fucking loved it. And I know certain people that I don't think I could just like go out and recommend it to, but I know so many people, like so many people. I'm just like, you should watch this. You should watch this. Here, let me show you how you get this. Let me show you where you watch it. Here, go watch it. Watch it. Like it's so good.
For me, it kind of clicked already the first time he fell into like one of the holes, and I was like, oh, okay, what is happening? Because it feels like an odd reset of putting the punchline maybe not where you expect it to be, because it's so filled with like jokes, 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 jokes the whole time through that it feels like at one point by the end of it you don't even have time to breathe anymore, because it's like it's so quick with it, because it has established all of these things, kind of primed you through the sound that plays when a certain thing happens. And sometimes you just hear kind of the sound and you already know what has happened on screen, even if you weren't even looking. And it does that in an impressively seamless way. Like, I was so surprised that the setups that it never felt tiring to me. The amount of stuff that was happening on screen was not overwhelming. And that's just like a testament to really, really good filmmaking. I was so surprised that from the get-go, it was just so entertaining. And you just like, it's also like you're rooting for the guy, but then at one point, like, does he become the antagonist of the whole thing? It was like, what is happening? And then ultimately, it's like so silly. It's just about like doing whatever crazy shit to get the woman, and then it's so much fun. Like you said, I feel like you could definitely see a lot of people who don't click with that type of humor. It's just too weird to them, so they never connect with it. But in a setup way of like setting up slapstick humor, I don't know if it gets any better than this. It feels like this is pretty much peak to whatever like that type of genre this type of movie has to offer. And I'm incredibly impressed by it. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to bring up? I'll give it a 9 out of 10. This is a really good movie. It's in
Yeah, 4.5 out of 5.
top 15 of the year for me. Amongst really, really other thematically deep movie, is a really silly one that is just incredibly entertaining.